Welcome to another episode of Why Do I Do This? So here's a PSA about Halloween. Yep, another one. That candy, poison candy, razor blades in the apples. Somebody's trying to give you something druggish. Yeah, they're trying to give children date rape drugs. Yeah, I don't know how true this is. I mean, in some parts of the world, I'm pretty fucking sure it's more than half the time. But what I'm getting at today is that Samhain, or as most people know it as Halloween, had nothing to do with candy. Had nothing to do with dressing up, getting drunk, and being, an idiot. Samhain is what my people believe is the New Year, and historically speaking, is the end of the harvest year. And so you take your crops that have, gone dormant or have died, such as corn and your gourds, that don't do well during the winter, and you put them into a giant pile, and you set them ablaze, and you return them back to the earth. There's also a couple other rituals. I'm not going to get into that because that's just unnecessary information currently. But back to today's tradition, make that very clear, that people have changed it and subjugated it to this, let's dress up and go march to somebody else's house and ask for candy, which normally you don't do. I mean, it would look weird. It would make it a lot easier in smaller communities, where everybody knows everybody. I'd find that acceptable. I'm not a big trick-or-treat fan of trick-or-treating anymore, because of all the scares and all the stuff that's going on in this world. And for the past couple of years, we haven't gotten too many trick-or-treaters at my house to, give candy out to kids. It's usually just the person across the street, which I really don't talk to them anymore because they're a little weird. Honestly, they scare me, and I'm not usually hard to rattle. Or intimidate. I think that's what I'm looking for. Not usually easy to intimidate. Anyways, long story short, we don't get many trick-or-treaters. I really don't like going out in my neighborhood and trick-or-treating. Because I live between really nice houses and really crappy ghetto houses. Simon's is limbo. But what I'm trying to get at, I keep digressing, I keep rabbit trailing. What I'm trying to get at is that checking your candy is very important. Checking your children's candy is very important. And be respectful, please. The people that don't want to give out candy, they don't have to give out candy. It's not a requirement. Okay, if they don't have their light on, leave them alone. Okay, if they run out of candy, be like, oh crap. And make sure if you run out of candy, you turn your light off, because then nobody's knocking at your door and you're like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Here, let me get you a toothbrush, because that's normal. And that's a big thing, guys, is that you gotta be respectful of those that you're asking for candy. Didn't think I'd ever have to say stupid shit like that, but I guess I do. And go to houses you actually do know. It makes it a little bit easier. You might not get as much candy, but it's safer. And with what's going on in the world today, it's best to be just that little bit of cautious. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you dress up, be responsible. If you have kids and they dress up and they want to go out trick-or-treat, be trick-or-treaters, be responsible. Okay? Know where you're going. If you don't know Joe Blow down the street, probably not a good idea to go to his house. Not saying all people are child molesters or want to poison your candy, but I am saying that it is a good thing to be responsible and respectable with those who are, that you're asking this stuff from. Nothing is more annoying than someone who cuts in front of, a little kid who happens to be way older. That's just rude. That is just rude. You wait your fucking turn, alright? I don't care how old you are, 5, 15, or 50. Wait your fucking turn. You can wait. That's all I got. Cheers.